extra thing to that terribly depressing and negative podcast I just did. Oh, and by the way, this one literally is just me hitting stop and then record again. So I'm still in the exact same mindset, and I apologize if that bleeds into this segment. But this is the same class, my regular class. I have a young lady in it that the first few weeks of school I put time into, just like I do all of them that receive it. You know, if I'm ignored, then I'm ignored. But those who receive it, I listen. Some of them have amazing problems. This young lady was arrested multiple times. She was addicted to drugs, and she was in some sort of teenage rehab place and was under recovery, and then got in trouble again and was trying so hard. She was in tears some days because you could tell she was hurting inside, and I guess the word is jonesing. But she still tried to come to school. And then another day, she's like, I passed. She was all happy. She had a certificate saying that she had passed all her programs and stuff. And she was so happy. And here I was, almost like some, uncle or stepdad, just like super proud of her. You did it. You got problems, and you're beating them. And then the day later, she's like, I'm pregnant. And her life was over again. And then she got through that, and she's like, you know what? I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to this baby. And she knew who the boy was, but he was going to disappear, clearly. They're 15, 16 years old. And here I was supporting her. And then apparently she was arrested robbing a baby store of over $500 worth of maternity clothing, and was caught. And if it's over $500, that is grand theft. And since this was a multiple offender, they were going to try her as an adult. Her lawyer decided, and I'm getting all this in very small snippets of stories, and she's going through these ups and downs, and it was a mess. It's still a mess. And they're going to go to trial, which means she's probably guilty. Well, I know she's guilty. Let's clarify that. She admitted it. I know she's guilty. But it's not me on trial. If she was to ask me to go in as a witness, I don't know if I could now because of where the story's going to finish. But there are days where, because she's sort of snippy sometimes, and there are days, very rare, but 1 or 2 days in like a 4-week period, she'd come up and be like, the kids are saying mean things to me. And I'm like, I hear little tiny things that you should be able to handle, because you kind of give it back. You talk about it to them. So you shouldn't be surprised if they talk about it back. And, one day she broke down and she's like, they're bullying me. And I'm like, I don't see it. I didn't see it. I have to see it, And then one day I heard something, and I was like, I thought you were pregnant. She's like, oh no, I had a miscarriage. I thought I told you. And then of course me as the person who thought, here I am, and this uncle, stepfather figure was devastated because apparently I wasn't good enough to give that information to. So I was like, oh, okay, that was fake. I'm just a vocal rubber band is what I am. Something to bounce stuff off to feel sorry for her. So she clearly has issues and just necessity of having sympathy for her. One day I was like, those are really nice shoes. She's like, oh yeah, don't ask me where I got them. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. Stealing's okay if you're poor, by the way. That is accepted by my students and the community. If you are poor, it's okay if you steal, because you don't have the money. You just don't have it. Well, I find out 2-3 days ago that some teacher said something to her And she not only went off on the teacher, she was screaming at everyone in the class. And this is an assumption, please don't hold this against me. But the assumption is, in order to get out of some trouble with this teacher who she called like some stupid hoe or something as she left. You folks have no clue what we go through. Stupid fucking whore is what I think was said. I think she's using an excuse of that she's being bullied in these classes, and I swear she, of course, mentioned mine, because I was tagged in an email asking if I had seen bullying. And I, of course, it replied in kind, which is, I mean, I see her get emotional in class, but I don't see anyone causing her to get emotional. So I don't see said bullying. That we're doing nothing for her. And I don't know if her going away, if this tried as an adult, which she's already accepted, by the way. She's like, yeah, I might get 5 years. And I was like, okay. She's like, I mean, probably going to be wearing the orange. And I'm just like, fuck. Where are the parents? And I don't want to keep blaming parents, but what fucking parent, like, doesn't deal with this sooner? Doesn't put her in some boarding school, which I think she was in anyways. Actually, I'd take that back. She was in some freaking locked up school. Oh, I don't know. What the fuck are we doing? Maybe the parent did try. See, I don't even know. I don't know what I'm talking about. We are clearly not figuring our kids out. How about that? Fuck me. I don't even know why I'm talking about this. I'm probably not even supposed to remotely discuss what happens in classrooms. I'm probably not. But at this point, you know what? Maybe I'm the Trump of education. I don't never want to be compared to him. But if someone needs to just be candid about stuff, we need to deal with some shit in our society and in our schools. And people are pussyfooting and farting around it. We're not dealing with these problems. We're covering it up with, symbols next to kids' names and, plans that there's something wrong with them. We don't know what it is, so we're going to make the teacher bend to them. I just find this asinine. Absolutely asinine. Some kids need help. There's no denying it. ESE kids, they need help. They have something that they're stuck with, and it is hindering their ability to learn, and we cannot leave them behind. We need to help them. But a kid who's just got a behavior problem, that we're just saying, oh, clearly it must be a learning disability because only stupid people, act terrible, which I don't mean that, by the way. But we're not dealing with something. We're not facing up to something in society. And we're just blindly like, well, it'll fix itself. No, it won't. It's getting worse, you dummies. It's not going to fix itself. It never does. You're going to end up with teachers with guns, guys. You're going to end up with schools that look like prisons. And treat the kids like they're in a prison. And force them under penalties to learn. Because if we don't have some change, we're not going to accept the country failing. That'll never happen. Something will step in and change it. And you don't want it to be the government. Especially not the present one. The present government wants to step in, and they want to handle all of these problems because they think they know how to do it. Metal detectors, guns, SROs, rooms that look more like a prison cell to show the child what the future may become.